All right, check it out. What we've got going on here is this is a driver's seat that I got out of a car a long time ago. And it's, you might notice it if you're looking down on, the bolster on this side kind of flares out. This one on this side kind of flares up and kind of kicks in a little bit right in that area. What had happened was the car was hit in the rocker and it actually pushed it in against the seat. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this seat apart. I'm going to remove the upper. I'll show you what you got to do. And then I'll show you what you have to do to remove the covering off of the lower. Now, what I have here is a driver lower that had considerable amount of wear. You could actually see this coming through. But this is a good frame sitting here already disassembled, okay? So I'm going to show you what it takes to get to this point, step by step, on pulling this apart. All right. So I'm going to set this seat up here, upside down, and show you what you have to undo. All right. As we're looking at this, I did not completely reassemble this last time. So you can take a look at the edge here. It has this hook, and then it has that hook. This one pops over and goes in like that, and it holds this together. You can pull these out right here, and you kind of unzip them like your jacket. All right, and that'll allow you to lift it up off of this, okay? Now, another thing that had happened with this one is this outer part here where the handle goes is actually broken off and missing. You can actually see the amount of bend here. So hopefully the upper is still okay. But we're going to work on getting this removed. What you're going to want to do, it's kind of hard here. I'm going to basically, I'm going to push on this and slide this back. So we have that done. There is these two little tabs here. A flathead screwdriver would work. I have this. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Just slide it. Yep. All right, so what we're doing is we're actually popping this off so that we can get access to this bolt right here. There's one on both sides. All right, so we're gonna do that, pop both of those off. We will need to come here because we will be changing this out. There's a screw here, all right. There's a screw over here on that side. Also, this flap here goes inside of this right here, like that one. Let's see if we can pop this off quick. All right. I'm going to remove these two. They're both 13s. I'm going to move that track forward, and then I'll catch up with you, and I'll show you getting this one off. All right, so here we are. I unzipped these, very easy. You need to, you can stick like a clip or something in there to make that easier for you to move. There's two bolts here on this side. There's two bolts here on that side. That will separate the top from the bottom. And along with that, like I said, this one here needs to come out. So we're going to try fighting with that here for a minute or two. I'm going to remove all the ones here on the side for now, okay? So we're going to get these two, all right, which will separate that. And then I'm going to remove this one and this one, which will remove my side pieces off. I'll be able to slide this one down. I should still be able to. Yep, I can hit this bolt and that bolt. And then we'll get this off. This here actually holds the track assembly onto here besides the two in the front that I did remove that were up here on the side. So 2, 4, 6, we got 8 of those. We're going to get them all off of there. All right, we got everything removed. Two backs, the sides. I actually undid the bolt for the seatbelt just because it made it a little easier for me to pull this out of the way till I get this pulled off and disconnected. Now, what I'll have to do is I'll have to pull this strip, these 4 strips off, and then this one here will separate from that, and then I can pull the foam off. But first, let's take a look at just how bad these were bent. You can see here. I did straighten these out because they were bent pretty bad. So there's that side. Here's this one. Hopefully you can see how bent that is. Right there, the twist. It's like I said, I put it in the press and I kind of pressed it straight just to straighten them out because I just didn't have any of these parts years ago. And like I said, this one was busted off. I believe that's a good lower frame. Take a look at it here. That's actually bent back there on that lower rear corner. And over here. So that frame's probably no good, but here you go, check it out. June 24th, 2004 for that one. All right, let me see if I can get one in here to kind of show you what we got to do here. If I can do this one-handed. All right, look, see? There you go. Pop it from the back, and that'll lift right off. As soon as I get these off, I'll pop the camera back on, and I'll show you pulling it apart. All right, so these side flaps stay on the round chair. Okay, so these side flaps, you can see they have that little hook. They come in here, and they hook inside of this on each side. We have all of these off. All right, so you will have to pull this out because that'll stay with the metal frame. You can do that while you're lifting the other part out or not. I'm gonna see if I can set this thing up. So, like I said, everything is disconnected. This thing's just gonna push and pull apart. Some of them will be stuck a little bit more stickier in there than that, right there. Okay, so good base cushion right there, and bent track right through here. I'm gonna set this down. You guys can take a look at it next to the other one. Okay, so our bad frame is the one that's in front. You can kind of see how that side is. That's how that side goes. And this one kind of kicks in pretty hard, like right through here. And you can tell just how far out it goes. So that's pretty easily is exactly what is there. The only thing I'm going to salvage from this frame will be this cross over cable. I've never had to replace one, but you never know. So I'm sure something like that's not available for the NSRT4 anymore. And then that'll go in the trash. These two here will go into the trash. And probably this frame here too will end up into the scrap bin. So I'm just going to do the same as the reverse of the removal. I'm going to set that down and I'm going to work the two parts for the frame for our front outer bolsters down in. So let's get this thing together. So now that we have the cover fitted up, we're going to install our base here. I got a wet rag. I'm going to wipe this thing off quick. Well, further investigation, someone thought that they would be able to remove the seat tracks off of here, and the welds are damaged, so I'm going to call this track junk too. Okay, well, I ended up digging out 2 other bottoms. I found the one that matched the one where they tried to cut the welds to get it off. I'm not sure what someone had going on there. And then this was just another one that I had sitting. What do we find? 357 mag. Look at that. Found a 357 mag bullet in that one. That's not something you find every day in a Neon. So, basically, these tracks are the same, whether it's driver or passenger. I believe the frames are themselves also. And then the only thing is, one side here will not be threaded. The other side will. Those bolts, I believe, are like a self-tapping bolt, so they'll tap themselves in. So, now that this is together, all right, what we need to do, all these bolts are tight, these 4, okay? So we need to, I'll need to get it to slide back, and then I can hook these ones up. Then I'll slide this thing back forward, and then we'll get the sides on, which it's not that one. It's these 2 here. Those are the driver ones. I believe these are passenger ones. Yeah, passenger because of where the seatbelt come through. Right here. Same as this one. Both passenger bottoms. They don't look bad. They're actually pretty decent. So they can be cleaned up and reused. So it's not something that I'm getting rid of. But we're going to get those installed. So it'll be both of these lower pieces here. All right. And then there's 2 bolts. And we're going to be reconnecting our cable for them also. So it's pretty much self-explanatory. This goes to the outside. So it'll get bolted right there. Yeah, like that. Okay. So that gets bolted on there. And that one will get bolted on the other side. We have plenty of bolts to pick from. So I'm just picking out the nicer ones, sticking them in. And then these go in a certain way. It'll probably end up using the, I think it will be, yep. It'll be this bottom one, I believe. When it goes in here, yep. It'll be the top. But these cables can go for either side, as you can see. They start out the hole like that, and then this one actually had a screw through it, so. I'm gonna get this thing together. All right, I'm hoping that this is on film. So your seat belt, there's a slot here. It actually has to go in behind this, which is why I'm addressing this right now. Bolt will have a little plastic piece on it. I'm going to use this impact, and hopefully this thing just self-taps itself right in. There we go. Now, we can finish installing our side bracket. And our screw for our cable. The cable pulls this and releases that, which allows you to adjust your recline. Okay, let's take this, bring it inside. Put it onto that. Bring this in. All right. That is the assembly of the lower seat. Check it out. It's actually pretty sweet. Okay, so installing the top is pretty easy. We're just going to slide it over. We're going to put our 2 bolts in on either side. We're going to zip it down, clamp our pieces together, and that's going to finish up the seat. Let's take a look here. All right, since I'm working on going through this, basically I'm cleaning down the seats. I have to weight down the vinyl part yet. I have a little cleaner here. You did get some dirty water. Looks pretty, it looks like when it's clean. So all I have to do is clean this up, bolt these 2 together, and I can install that into my car. I've already got the other one installed. It's kind of dark to see, and I'm working on getting this stuff together. So that kind of just hopefully explains some of what is different in the seats. So I think these are the same from side to side. Okay, all your bolts and stuff will be the same. These will be different. Your lowers, they both come across here, but there's a stitch here for the seatbelt to come through. So that's the biggest part that's different. The metal spring frames will be the same. And these tracks are universal from side to side. These uppers are universal from side to side on the lowers. And that's pretty much it for the seats. As you can see, I got a couple here. I got a couple here, plus I have some more. I'm just going to try to go through some of these. Hopefully I can put together another 1 or 2 nice sets. I know I have one nice set right now. I need a nice driver's seat, I believe. And then I'll have 2 nice sets. And then I'll probably try to, I don't know, I might send them to get reupholstered, or pass them off cheap to someone that's looking for some seats to actually get reupholstered themselves. So we need to get these out of the way. That's the best way to put it. All right. See ya. All right. Look at how pretty that seat is now. So, try to do this here. I'll show you this thing working here. Reclines nicely. It didn't clean up too bad. It's just kind of hard to get in at this. These are usually always discolored just from age. It springs right back up where it's supposed to nicely. The tracks work, so we're going to get this installed